Well, James, day two's done a bit of an easy day for the guys today, only a double session, not a triple.
That's right, I know the guys have worked hard, to be fair. It's been a good couple of days so far. We had the idea of maybe a third session in there, but I think we've got to be careful with them and make sure that we're trying to get them fit and not get them injured.
Got to take perhaps consideration of the climate over here as well.
That's right, I mean it's been warm. I've trained obviously a little bit earlier, an hour earlier in the morning than what we're used to back home, but certainly the boys have been cramming in a lot of work in the couple of days that we've been here.
You seem to be doing a lot of work on shape and tactics and stuff as well. It's not just purely fitness.
That's right, so I mean the manager kind of leaves the schedule up to myself, and obviously he oversees it and manages it, so he puts a lot of trust in me to design the right things and make sure they're fit, although he keeps a close eye on it. So this year we've changed it a little bit. We've started with bigger sided stuff, 11v11 and 10v10, so trying to get them fit whilst organising the team with and without the ball. So far it's looked quite interesting. Obviously we get our first game on Thursday. I wouldn't read too much into that, it'll be quite early for us, but we're certainly getting a lot of things in. Normally you would do small sided stuff and get your fitness stuff in and then try to coach the team 3 or 4 weeks into it, but we've from the off we've went for it really.
And how important is it to have those kind of balanced sessions, because it's not quite the old historic run up a sand dune for 3 days solid?
No, the game's changed and everybody knows that. The game is completely different now. Players come back in great condition compared to what they did 20-30 years ago, where they needed 5 or 6 weeks of running to get off what had went on in the close season. Our players left after the end of the season with a programme to do, which they only got a couple of weeks rest, and they were sort of monitored the programme. And nowadays, if players come back, they stick out a mile if they're not looked after themselves. So we're quite happy with the boys in the opening week of the preparations.
Safe to say that what you've seen so far, you and the gaffer is quite happy.
We are, yeah. There's been a lot to look forward to. Obviously, only 1 or 2 new faces, so a lot of the boys that have been here have seen a lot of the things that we've done, but we're trying to get some fresh ideas and have a couple of surprises up our sleeve for the start of the season.
From a management perspective, does that make it slightly easier, the fact that you mentioned there, there's a couple of new faces, but you don't have to do major surgery on the squad, because this is a squad that's finished second 2 years in a row? Ideally it's just tweaking it a little bit.
I think that's right. I mean, we have been close, and there's 2 things you can do when you're close. You can say, well, we've not achieved the ultimate aim to win the league, and the first thing would be to rip it up and start again. And the second thing would be to fine tune it and try and get the couple of players, or the 2 or 3 players that you need, that you think will take you to the next level. And we went down that road. I think we've got a lot of good players in this division, and I think we are close. And having split, Rangers and Hibs 2 years ago and Hibs and Dundee United this year, I think that's proven that we're close. So we're hoping that the integration of the 1 or 2 will be quicker than starting again and integrating 6 or 7.
Obviously in the last hour we've broke the news back home about Rory coming back to the club now. Obviously losing John Baird and Bob McHugh, it's important to add a little more firepower. That's
right. I mean, John and Bob were good strikers for the club. They added a dimension that got us goals at times and took us up the pitch at times. Bob was quick and Beardy had an eye for a goal, but Rory obviously has had a good spell at Falkirk before, and he's went on and had a taste of the Premier League, and I think he's desperate to come back as well. So we're delighted to add that. I think if we had lost Beardy and Bob and not added anybody, it would have been a big ask of younger players like Scott Shepherd and Kevin O'Hara, who we hope will play their part, and obviously Nathan Austin. It's a big weight on their shoulders to go into the season. Lee's obviously re-signed, but Rory, I think, is the one that we hope will kick us on. Obviously
the question the fans will undoubtedly want to know, can we expect any more arrivals at the Falkirk Stadium before the season kicks off?
Well, not that I know of. I mean, I think somebody would have to go out before it comes in, but don't they always say at Falkirk, expect the unexpected? I don't think whilst everybody would like to add to their squad, not just us, we would obviously have to somebody would have to buy someone, or something would have to happen, and I'm not aware of anything like that happening just now, so we're quite happy with what we've got. We maybe would like another 1 or 2, and whether that happens or not is dependent on other things.
Realistically, it's going to be another tough division. The Championship always is, but if we're going to get out of this division, it will be some hard graft. But despite the fact there's a few traditionally bigger clubs, i.e. Dundee United, are still there, we have gone ahead of them once. How do you assess our chances this season realistically?
Well, I think we've got a good chance. I think the fact that we've finished second twice in a row, as we keep saying, that's an achievement in its own, and in many other leagues and countries that would be enough to get you promotion. I think it would be disrespectful to discount the other teams. I think Dundee United, they're a big club, and they'll be seeing it that they're only out the top league 1 year, and they'll not want a second year, so they'll be sort of going for it a wee bit. And even Inverness, who everybody are just saying they're coming down, and nobody really mentions them. And then you've got St Mirren, who ended the season brilliantly as well. So your rival games against Dunfermline, you've got big games all over. Queen of the South will come again. I think it'll be a lot tighter league. I think the last 2 or 3 years there's been a clear winner by sort of January time. I think it could well go to the wire this next year, and if it does, then let's hope that Falkirk have got a chance going at the last couple of games.
Just finally, James, on the pre-season tour here, we've got a number of the younger players have come along with the first team squad's more established members. Can we hope to see a few of them over the season?
Well, again, I think it's a big ask for them to go in and sustain their place in the team. But if they do well, they'll play. It's as simple as that. There's chances there. We've not brought 5 outfield players over here for nothing. Out the 18, it is a young squad, and some players will have a better chance than others. But if they can prove it and right under the manager's nose, then he'll throw them in. If they're good enough, they'll play.
Fingers crossed here. James, as always, thanks for your time.
Cheers, Lewis. Thanks.